still leading in the Signotech Alpine, and that car 362 laps compared with 380 for the lead Toyota. It's got a 2.5 minute lead over the Jackie Chan car, Hopington, we just saw making that last splash and dash, and Roch Duval in the TDS Racing entry in third place. That's our podium at the moment. There are the eyes of Nick Lapierre.
Yes, and he is in line, isn't he, to secure not only the race win today, but also the Drivers' Championship and the Teams' Championship for the Signotech Alpine. Matmut, this could be a hugely lucrative and successful day. So, all the weight of the racing world on the shoulders of the Frenchman, but he's a highly experienced driver, isn't he? You couldn't ask really for a safer pair of hands to guide that LMP2 car to the checker flag for another 15 minutes.
Right, GT Pro, here we are. Alexandra Pierguidi, James Collado, and Daniel Serra. Daniel Serra doing a stunning job on his once-a-year outing in Europe. That's at the Le Mans 24 Hours. Son of Chico Serra, and if they can win this, there'll be a lot of celebration back in Brazil. Jimmy Bruni is 62 seconds behind. Earl Bamber 81 seconds behind. They have covered 338 laps. And meanwhile, down in GT Am, Jeroen Bleekemolen has managed to eke out a 15-second lead over Jörg Bergmeister. It all looked very, very good, didn't it, for the Porsche Team Project One at one moment. Ben Keating still probably kicking himself for that mistake, burning his tyres as he left the pit lane. He'll never do that again.
Yeah, I mean, I feel for the guy because, look, there is a rule in place. You are not allowed to wheel spin out of the pit lane. He did. He got pinged for it with a penalty. That made the lead that their team had spent the whole race building up suddenly dwindle. And you've got to ask yourself, how necessary really is that rule? How necessary really is it for the organisers to be so strict in penalising the guys? You know, the reality is we have got a packed pit lane. It's full of fuel rigs and personnel. If somebody does light up the rear tyres as they pull out of their box, lose the car and spin in the pit lane, understandably that could be very dangerous. But I do feel that the penalty is slightly disproportionate to the crime in the case of Keating.
So Jimmy Bruni and Richard Leitz heading for what could be the World Championship, because Kevin Estre, Michael Christensen may be too far back. I'm just doing the maths now as we're talking. In fact, Kevin Estre is in 10th position, and they pay points, don't they, down to 10, so that's 141 those guys will get, and Richard Leitz and Jean Mariburi will be up to 142, I think.
Yeah, I'm just while you finish your maths there, Mark, I'm just picking up on this fascinating duel in LMP2 between former Formula One driver Will Stevens driving for Panis Barthez Competition. He's currently in 8th place in the McDonald's sponsored car, getting a lot of pressure from Tristan Gomendy behind him, another hugely experienced and mightily fast LMP driver, as I know from my past when I always feared finding him in my mirrors. Very quick driver indeed, Gomendy, and he's now in the slipstream as they come out of the second chicane on the run down to Mulsanne. Can he get enough of a tow? Is he going to have to force Stevens to start taking a defensive line in the braking zones? Not yet. It's going to be the last of the late breakers, and this is tough. You've got to remember, the cars are starting to get a little bit loose. They're visibly moving around underneath them. So Stevens out in front, Gomendy right behind him in his wheel tracks, desperately trying to pick up a slipstream. Seems that the Ligier car in front is slightly more slippery through the air. It doesn't have the benefit of a car ahead of it to give it a tow. Meanwhile, Gomendy behind has that benefit but isn't able to close. A very pretty Ligier, the second place car there, lovely shape, lovely silhouette, slightly nicer treatment to the nose design at the front of the car than the Ligier, I think, but none of that matters when performance is the priority. right now. These two world-class sports car drivers hanging it all out, leaving absolutely nothing on the table for the last 11 minutes. And isn't it fantastic that a battle for 8th position in class is so hotly contested, despite the fact that this isn't the win, this isn't a podium position, but they're really going for it anyway.
Yeah, this is interesting, isn't it? 20 years ago, you came to this race, and with 11 minutes to go, everyone decided that's it, and they were just staying in position so they could make sure they finished. No one was trying to pass anyone else, and it was all very, very gentlemanly. That's changed. This is still a sprint race, even with only 11 minutes or 24 hours to go, which is why these two are going at it hammer and tongs. They're taking risks, but they're just doing it because they're racing drivers.
Fantastic stuff, isn't it? Oh, love watching it. I envy not being in one of those cars, though. That just looks brilliant fun. That's exactly what it's all about. It's exactly what we want to see up here in the booth. Now let's keep a close eye on the scoring sheet, because Kaz Nakajima at the head of the field is enjoying a 21-second gap over Jose Maria Lopez, whose pace is 3 seconds a lap faster than the leading car on that last round. He's not given up, has he, Lopez?
No. Tristan Gomendi then still pushing Will Stevens as hard as he can. Got a Porsche in the way there, one of the Brumos cars. That car getting out of the way nicely, just giving them the space.
Plenty of drivers still pushing out there. Tony Villander, 4th place for WeatherTech and GTE AM, just lighting up the timing screens with a personal best, fastest Sector 1. So 10 minutes remaining. Not many signs of drivers easing off. And in fact, that's the safer thing to do, isn't it, Mark? It tends to be when you ease off that the mistakes start to happen as you lose focus.
Yeah, Jimmy Bruni and Earl Bamber have both upped the ante, and they're both running faster laps now. Pierre Guidi ahead of him running 355s, Bruni and Bamber on 353s, 352s, but I think Pierre Guidi knows it's in the bag, and if necessary he can respond, can't he? He's got a very quick car under him in that Ferrari.
Yeah, we just caught a quick shot there in the pit garage of the team owner and one of the 3 drivers of this car, the Wins sponsored Ford GT of Keating Motorsports. Yeah. There is Ben Keating in the brightly coloured race suit. He's really planned and worked hard on himself, on his team, invested heavily because he wants to win Le Mans. He wants to stand on top of that podium, and this year they've come to the race with the best ingredients he could get his hands on.
Just saw James Collado there, Englishman who is about to become winner of Le Mans. Just to remind you, last time Ferrari won the Pro category was 2012. That was AF course as well, and Giancarlo Fisichella on board that car. Last time Ferrari won here in any class was 2016, the American Scuderia course. Jeff Siegel was on board that car, and he's still racing here this weekend.
Well, Keating had it all easy. They built up really impressive lead over the opening half of the race, and then one thing after another seemed to unravel, didn't it? Keating getting pinged with penalties for wheel spins. He went off, he had to come in for repairs, all sorts of investigations, and now they're down to a lead nonetheless, but it is a lead of 55 seconds. It seems that Bergmeister has had to ease out of that battle. Don't know if I exactly saw why. He's had quite a slow last lap. He had to make a stop, that's why. Okay, yeah. So it was never really on anyway, unless of course the Keating Ford needs to pit again before the end, but I think they're done based on the fact they've done 24 stops already.
Well, they're not going to get much more than 3 more laps out of this race now, maybe 2.5 at this point. Napping in around the 3:20 mark, 7.5 minutes to go. This is how it all ends. Not with a whimper but a bang this year, and we've had years where we thought, oh well, that's it, it's all over, half an hour to go, but not this one. Still wide open, and we're still wondering, Toyota, what is going on there?
Lopez just punching in another 3:22, 2 seconds faster than the leading Toyota of Kaz Nakajima.
So Will Stevens splash and dash there, left that very late. The only one either. That's the other car, it's the Graf car, sorry, with the McDonald's So that was the Panis Barthez competition. Yeah, it was Will Stevens and the Graf car, Tristan Gomedy. So they both came in. Those two have been tailing each other. Both had to come in, perhaps just using a little bit more fuel than they planned, because that little battle had been having. That battle still for 8th place, and no loss of position there because they had a good lap over the car behind them.
Thanks to Sub Varga on Twitter, who just pointed out that in fact Lopez had a 4-minute lap. I did miss that, so perhaps he was pushing too hard. I too thought that he might have the pace to close up until we heard that radio call where his engineer was begging him, please just bring the car home. He sensed that Lopez was on a charge. Perhaps Lopez did make a mistake which contributed to a slower lap, apparently a 4-minute plus lap. I didn't see that myself, but he's trying to make up for it now. He's just done a 3:21.6. That is 2 seconds faster than Nakajima, who's in the lead. The gap reasonably steady at 18 seconds.
It will be just 2 laps. Don't go faster, and it will be just 2 laps.
Don't go faster, says the engineer to Nakajima. That implies a lot of trust in the second place car of Jose Maria Lopez to not catch and pass the leading car, giving the proverbial to the team orders. But he's a professional driver, on to a good thing with Toyota, so I think it's highly, highly unlikely that will happen. But
and thank you, RGT, for your very late tweet, just pointing out, in fact, JMW Motorsport, that's Jim McWhirter's team, won GT-AM in 2017 for Ferrari, with Will Stevens on board and Laurence Vanthoor. So well done, thank you. We can't always get it quite right. We do try.
Oh, thanks to Michael Ducharme, just pointing out that 4-minute lap from Lopez was his outlap from the pits. So that explains my slight confusion, because I didn't see any mistakes, and he did have to make that stop. So either way, it is what it is. 17 seconds split the first and the second place car at the moment. Reading between the lines of all the radio communications from the pit lane, they are under strict instructions to hold station, to the extent that Kaz Nakajima in the leading 8 car has been told not to go any faster in case he reaches the line just before the checkered flag is thrown, causing the team to have to do another lap. They want to minimize the risk and do as few laps as possible between now and 3 p.m, which is just in 4 minutes time.
So big day for Ferrari, this, if they can pull this off against such strong opposition. There's the Stintec Alpine, Matt Mutt, team in tears, Philip Sinio's team under team director Regis Fricot. They come from Bourg-en-Bresse, and of course Nick Lapierre raced a European Formula 3 with them. So did one Romain Grosjean at that time.
And that, that is some well-earned emotion down in the Signatech Alpine Matt Mutt pit garage there. It's been a long day as we just see one of the Hublot Kessel Racing Ferraris going straight on at the second chicane. Always makes me gasp with breath when you see a car having a problem right in front of another car that is leading its class as it enters the last lap. And it is the last lap that we're on as Nakajima crosses the start-finish line to start his final lap. He's down into the S's already. The official timing screens showing us that this will be the last lap of the race. Just 2 minutes and 48 seconds remaining. The flag will be out when Kazuki Nakajima navigates the remaining 6 or so miles to share the victory with this man, Fernando Alonso.
As long as they complete those last few miles, yes. Alonso will be world champion. Kazuki Nakajima will be world champion, and Sebastian Buemi will be world champion, and Fernando Alonso will tick off another of those boxes on his wish list, the one that's remaining, the Indy 500.
And we don't have to think too far back, do we, to a Toyota grinding to a halt on the final lap of the race.
That's why it's being circumspect.
I know, so we need to just pause for thought to make sure that car does make it home. Le Mans has this uncanny ability, doesn't it, just to rewrite the script all the time, twists and turns you can barely imagine are possible.
I think there's someone sitting in the trees there with a ray gun, you know, and when they think things need livening up, they point it and they just frazzle the electronics on whatever car happens to be going by.
This will be the longest 2 minutes of Fernando Alonso's life, and that of all of the Toyota team, coming down with the leading car now. There he is, Kaz Nakajima, calmly navigating his way through Mulsanne corner.
He may look calm externally, but can you imagine the emotions boiling up inside him at the moment? He knows he's got to keep cool inside, but how can he stop himself?
He hasn't backed off completely. The sector times are 33 through sector 1, 77 through sector 4. Last lap, a 3:22. This is still a competitive race pace. They're not taking it easy and coasting to the finish as perhaps you might expect. But remember, these cars are designed to work at full racing speed. If you back off too much, you lose the downforce, you lose the tyre temperature, you lose the brake temperature, and suddenly it all starts slithering and skating around underneath you. Much better for the drivers to stay focused.
Look at the emotion there. Fernando Alonso, not normally emotional. Normally it's a hard face, but you can see the tears are starting to well up there. Even Sebastian Buemi, the hard Swiss.
Fantastic moment here for all the class-leading teams. Toyota at the front in LMP2, Signatech Alpine, Matmut with Nicolas Lapierre in GTE Pro, AF Corsa, who have commanded the lead of that class with their Ferrari, piloted by Pierre Guidi, to the line in Keating Motorsports in GTE AM. Jeroen Bleekemolen guiding that car to the line. Mark, as the leading car comes into the final corner.
Yeah, this is it. It's all over. Toyota take their second successive Le Mans. 24 hours. It's the only time in history we've had 2 Le Mans in one season. Toyota's dominated it and taken the World Championship for its number 8 crew, Nakajima, Buemi and Fernando Alonso, which is everything that Toyota have ever wanted.
And here comes the sister car of Jose Maria Lopez, number 7 car, crossing the line now to secure a fantastic second place. Let's not be any doubt about the achievement, but they will be absolutely gutted. And you've got a spare thought for Mike Conway and Kamui Kobayashi back in the pits. But a hat tip to Toyota Gazoo Racing for another victory here at Le Mans.
What a win as well for Ferrari. Now we're just going to check the points and make sure that Ferrari haven't snuck in under the radar and stolen the World Championship. Looking...
Now we still await the LMP2 winner and Keating in GTE AM, but the AF Corsa Pierre Guidi has crossed the line to give Ferrari yet another GTE Pro Class victory under some of the most intense manufacturer competition that we've seen here in recent years. That is truly a Le Mans victory to be proud of.
And that's a photograph that will be on the front page of every newspaper tomorrow morning, most particularly in Japan. James Calado already being interviewed as the first-time Le Mans winner. What a big day for him. You just got to feel, haven't you, how amazing. James has put in so much hard work with AF Corsa over the last 4 years. It's paid off handsomely.
Yeah, and let's mention Daniel Serra as well, who's driven that car superbly for hour after hour in this race. As the director rightly cuts back to Jeroen Bleekemolen in the Wins liveried Ford GT of Keating Motorsports. This is going to be a brilliant GTE AM class win for that squad.
And what is this going to do for sales of the customer Ford GTs? Well, everyone's going to want one now.
Fantastic. Congratulations, Ben Keating, Jeroen Bleekemolen, and Mr. Felipe Fraga in the only privately run Ford GT AM victory for Keating Motorsports. Looking out now for Jörg Bergmeister coming through in the team Project One Porsche, followed by JMW Motorsports Ferrari with Baptista at the wheel.
So what a moment. Kaz Nakajima can probably now...
For one, first off, right. So anyway, great job for you. Great team for David. The job is mostly success everyone, and mostly the job by car 7. Good job everyone. Yeah, exactly. think everybody did a great job, so thanks for the support.
So look at the eyes there, tears welling up.